with Harden was that there was no games canceled. It was just postponed here. And I think with Kyrie, if the quarantine is 7 days or 10 days, whatever games are missed in there, that he will lose game pay, which is a little bit over $400,000. The optics aren't great. Of course, you have a Nets team playing last night, and he's on a Zoom call regarding something from a politics standpoint in New York City here. I'm trying to hold off on judgment until Kyrie speaks. I think we probably owe him at least that benefit of the doubt. But yeah, the optics are not great as far as with that video, what happened last night here. But yeah, you're looking at besides time he's missed, he will probably be forced to go into some type of quarantine process where likelihood is that he's going to be out 7 to 10 days.
Bobby, you mentioned James Harden a second ago. Last night was the first time that we actually heard something come out of James's mouth alluding to the fact that he does not want to be in Houston, and he's done everything that he could possibly do to try and win there. But as he said, the team is just not very good. With that being said, what do you do as a former executive with a guy like James Harden that does not want to be there? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm still holding off. And I'm not holding off to the belief that Harden is going to change his mind, that he's going to want to stay there. I think that's long gone here. But I'm still holding off till past February 6th, when these roster restrictions are lifted on most of these players and the trade market really opens up. And I do think you probably do get to a point, if you're Houston, if you reevaluate as far as what your asking price is going to be. Instead of getting 90 cents on a dollar, and maybe you're going to have to get 75 cents on the dollar here. But yeah, I don't think we'll see James Harden in a uniform when the trade deadline is in March 25th here. But I am still trying to play the patience game. But Harden, I think what you're seeing, guys, is that this Laker team, that exposed a lot of things here. They have not played well. He hasn't played well in the last 4 games. His free throw attempts are down, his points are down, his turnovers are up. So it's going to be an interesting thing as far as what it reminds me a lot of. And I went through it in New Jersey with Vince Carter in Toronto, where Vince was not happy, did not play well, and then we got him in a trade in 2004, and he played really well for us. And if that's going to be the case here, but as I said, I'm playing the waiting game unless it's a complete disruption here, and I'm still looking for the best available trade package.
March 25th. That seems like a long, long, long way away. But as we mentioned earlier this morning, you got to use all that time, do your due diligence to get the best possible deal you can. Double dip tonight on ESPN, including the Nets and the Knicks to start it out. Bobby, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Bob.
And Jay, on that tip, we should be talking about the Nets and the Knicks. And I know the Knicks have stumbled a little bit lately, but they're playing
better. What is their
better.
record now?
I believe they're a little under 500. I think they're a 5-6 team at this point. They're struggling just a little bit. They were 5-3. We were putting them in the NBA Finals the other day.
I told you.
It's all right. It's okay.
But we should be talking about, kind of a quasi-resurgent Knicks, talking about the Nets, who have great storylines. But Jay, the only storyline around the Nets surrounds one person.
It's Kyrie Irving. A couple of things. Number one, Key, you and I have both been to parties. We both hung out. We're gonna be real with the audience. If I had a party and I didn't want people to know that I had a party, with security, you're checking your phone at the front. No pictures allowed. It is mandated once you come into this party. If I do not want to be seen, you will not see me. Kyrie Irving wants to be seen. Don't get that twisted. He was actually on the Manhattan District Attorney's candidates, Zoom call last night. And what he does in the community is incredible. I think it's actually something that is not spoken about enough, about the money he gives back to the community, how he stands up for things like Black Lives Matter and things of that sort. But this is a major slap in the face to the Brooklyn Nets organization, beyond a slap in the face. When your owner doesn't know what's going on, when it hasn't been properly communicated, when your general manager doesn't know what's going on, when it hasn't been properly communicated, when there is potentially a call that you've had with your coach where it's just like, I'm having family issues. You owe that type of communication to an organization that is backing you. You owe that type of communication to your teammates so that when they lose games, and regardless of whether Kevin Durant plays well or not, the first question is going to be about where is Kyrie Irving. They can handle that correctly. The way this whole thing has played out, and I agree with Bobby Marks, there needs to be somewhat of a judgment that is a little bit reserved until you understand what is going on. But still, just the way everything has been handled has been so poor. It's thrown the organization under the bus, and Kyrie is just going back and forth, back and forth. And Key is so disappointing to see for a team that has so much potential. We're not talking about on the court things that are happening with them. All the attention is focused on Kyrie Irving, and that's where it should not be.
I don't know much about Kyrie other than the basketball player. I don't know him personally at all. I don't think I've ever even met him. But from the outside looking in, I would just say that who are the people around him, Jay? Like does he have a group of individuals, his management company, his agents, people that he pay money to that can get to him and try and get him to understand the consequences, the circumstances, the things that he's dealing with and how he's putting himself out there in the public for people to judge him? Where are those people at in his camp and in his corner in terms of the things that he does off the court? And you say he wants to be seen. I mean, I've done many things and continue to do many things off the field and off television. I'm not asking for people to validate that. I know what I did inside. What I would tell him is as long as he knows what it is that he's doing, that's all that matters. Don't get caught up in trying to, be seen out there because you're doing the things for Black Lives Matter and social justice. Okay, you should feel good about that. Don't get caught up in you're not getting enough attention or people don't respect you. As long as you respect yourself, that's the first and foremost thing. Is if you respect yourself, who gives a damn about what other people say and do? Who cares? I don't. But I mean, and I know what you're gonna say, Jay. Everybody ain't me, and I get it.
No, I'm with you, Key. I understand it.
I get it, but when you are at the pinnacle and the top in your profession, which he is, keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing.
Well, I don't mind the pushing. And if you're sitting out because of what happened at the U.S. Capitol and that you actually want to create change, I'm actually okay with that, Key. I'm okay with that. But you have to communicate that to your franchise. And if that is the case, say that. So there's no speculation or conflation about what's going on with Kyrie Irving.
No, absolutely. Communicate.